Last year, in a dusty old warehouse, the Royal Society for the Prevention of Accidents stumbled across a collection of more than 700 historical posters. RoSPA's History Project Manager Janice Cave, MBE, tells the tale of how we unearthed these hidden treasures.
Wow, look at that. It's super. Look at this one. Gosh, that's a bit different. And it's signed as well. I like that. Oh, I know that one. That's one of our most famous ones, Roland Davis. He was very good. People really like this one. One of our bestsellers.
These are some of the historical posters that were found buried in our old warehouse in Birmingham, which everybody had forgotten were there. And when we opened them up, we started to find we had some things by known artists. This one, for example, is by Gus, who's a very well-known cartoonist. We've got this one in this pink, rather garish 60s sort of pink. And he's also done the same version in green. And interestingly, on the back, you have all the instructions to the printer and the studio as to how these things are to be done, and this one's actually dated 1972. Every poster is catalogued and has a number. I like this one by Riley. We don't know much about Mr. Riley, but I think the incredible amount of movement he's got in his man slipping here is absolutely amazing, and very interested to know more about him if we could ever find anything out. This is quite an early poster from its number. And of course, women in the workplace. These pictures of women started to come in later on among the posters, and this is one worrying about people wearing unsuitable shoes, which is still an issue today. Again, an artist, Digby Wills. We don't know a lot about him, but I think the caring look on the face of this nurse is quite astonishing. One of our most exciting finds was this folded up piece of paper which had all sorts of information on the back, and then we opened it out and found that we had virtually all of our posters since RoSPA was founded in 1917, and these posters take us up to 1930, and there's 42 here, and every one of them has considerable detail of what the message is, everything from safety first with a cat, think safety first. Clearly we invented the Think campaign before others did. Keep out of needless danger. These are good, strong messages done very simply, but obviously very effectively. Sadly, we do not have any of the actual original posters at full size. Then of course there's Tom Eckersley, who is well known in poster circles for other work for other organisations. He is quoted as saying that he thought his work for RoSPA was some of the best work he ever did. And I think this lovely Christmas poster from 1951 is absolutely gorgeous. And then we have Roland Davis, who is very well known for his Journey's End poster, but he did other posters for RoSPA too, and this is one of them. And again, look at the fantastic movement and the shock on the man's face that he has managed to convey, that this is something people really should be worried about. And it's a message that's still just as valid today. Cyclists are still being knocked off their bikes by drivers. The important thing about this collection that we've now discovered is it takes us all the way through from the very beginnings of RoSPA to the modern day, and we have a complete record of how safety messages have evolved as working methods have changed, as roads have changed, traffic has changed. I mean, look at this lovely one. Courtesy is infectious. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at those fantastic moustaches and the lovely courtesy and the very old-fashioned car. I think that one's a beaut. We also have things like that shows just how bad the situation used to be on our roads when hundreds more children were being killed than are killed these days. We can actually see our progress through the things that were put on our posters. Lots of people like this one. Beware of the swarf. Younger people often don't know what swarf is, but it's the metal shavings that come from industrial activity, and at one time it was causing lots of injuries to people's hands and feet. But I think this fantastic dog by Leonard Cusden really sums up the aggression of this metal and is a real piece of artwork, which I think we're very pleased to have. Interestingly, the world began to change and we had road safety coming in with children. We think this is probably one of the earliest pictures or posters of children in seatbelts in the back of cars. It's certainly our earliest poster. But it does show really that as you go through the years, that actually the messages don't change. You have to go on being careful. She's a stunning girl out in filthy winter weather. But look, road safety depends on you. She's got a cross with care. The message is just as valid for hoodies and people who go around all covered up in the winter. She's from the 1960s. Isn't she gorgeous? RoSPA's centenary is coming up in the next few years, and it's wonderful to have found these posters so that we can help them celebrate the decades of success in safety that RoSPA has had. We also want to share these posters with the public, so we are having an exhibition at the Hilton Metropole Hotel in Birmingham on May the 15th to 17th, so that everyone can come along for free and see these wonderful pieces of work. In order to protect them, we've actually had all these posters photographed so that you can see a good clear image of them, but there is no risk to the posters being damaged or deteriorating.